Alright. His blood transfusion technique.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Alright, now, what's Mr. Fiddick's story?
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Good lord.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury.
Okay.
He first claimed it was an accident.
His arm.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father. Ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna go talk to Harvey Fiddick and find out more about his injury.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Alright, so that's it for him. Now I gotta go
Goodbye,
talk to the patient again.
As for me...
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Here we go.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Wow, his wife died, huh?
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Alright. So he's got a fucked up past. Oh, here we go.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
Damn.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
Aww. Asian entrepreneur chewed again. He said, "You never tried Costco food? What the hell? A perfect DSP tries it." Well, the thing is, usually when I go to Costco, it's in the middle of the day, and so it's not a time that I'm eating. You know, in the morning I'll have a breakfast. Later on at night I'll have like a dinner. I don't typically eat like a middle meal, so usually when I'm at Costco I'm not hungry, and that's why I haven't really tried anything.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Yeah, hell, that would have been an even worse catastrophe, huh? So we got 2 of the 3 things about him already. Alright.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
So the only other person I think I didn't talk to is the mother here, right? I never talked to her.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Oh my god, look.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Oh, of course, that's what it is. Tell me about your arrival.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Ah! A new thing about Pippa Hawkins.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Asian Entrepreneur is asking what's winning the poll. I'm assuming he's talking about Patron's Choice. Right now, Half-Life 2 is in first, and there's a tie between Jak 2 and Simmons Hit and Run for second, so it's very close.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer, and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Well, that was easy.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Mortimer is extremely vague as to his motivations for committing suicide. Tell me more about what you know.
As you say, Mortimer had no reason to die. All he said to me was that he wanted to make the world a better place, but couldn't.
Huh.
What do you think he meant by making the world a better place?
Mortimer has always been a sensitive soul. He wouldn't talk to anyone for months after his father passed. It's like he carries everyone's sadness with him.
Why did your son feel so useless when facing the world?
I think it was more that he could only see the melancholy facets of life. He couldn't help but dwell on such things.
Okay. Damn, her blood quality is super high, 2600.
I have read your son's suicide note. It was not an impulsive gesture, nor was it his first attempt.
He threatened to kill himself a few times before. But I never thought he would dare to punish me this much.
Punish you? Why?
I've known for a long time he was not happy with his life. But I always hoped he cared enough to avoid making me suffer like this.
Huh.
Do you realize your son could try to kill himself again? He might succeed next time.
I think about it every minute. But I won't stop fighting for my son's future. That's how much I love him.
Aw, a true loving mother.
You're right. Your son's death was not fatal. And unlike many on their own...
Your son's death was not fatal. Not only did they write that dialogue, but then this guy actually voice acted it and no one questioned that line. His death was not fatal.
He is lucky to have you by his side.
I can't give up on him. I just can't. I have conceded many times in my life, but giving up on my son is something I am incapable of.
Ah, I got a new hint for Beatrice Goswick. Unlocked.
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail. I can't let that happen. I won't.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your son's case?
All my son needs is help and comprehension. not judgment and punishment for what he may or may not have done.
I unlocked everything. Dude, 4,000 experience if you mesmerize her and drink her blood. That's pretty crazy. Alright, well, that's it for now.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Anything new with him? I don't think so. I'm just gonna double check this on here.
I'm okay.
Ah!
Your mother won't let you down, Mortimer. Don't you share her hope for a better future?
No. I don't.
Won't
Damn.
you even try?
Do you want me to promise you I'll get better? Do you want me to tell her the same thing? I could, but it would not change anything.
Damn.
I've read your letter, Mortimer. You wrote about an unbearable feeling of despair while the world crumbles around you. Tell me more about it.
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful, it's unbearable, and I don't ask anyone to understand what I feel.
Huh.
Despair is a deadly poison I've tasted myself, sir. We're only tempted to drink it because we're terrified by the uncertainty of the next minute.
I know that perfectly, Doctor. For I waited for so long, hoping that the next minute would be less unbearable.
Damn, he's super emo.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Huh.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured, you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince.
What's up, Timbo? Good to see you.
It's my mother.
Alright, are we done?
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Alright, so that's it for
I
now.
have to go now, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Alright, so I got a new investigation from all this dialogue, right? That's not it yet. It's this one. Yep. Reach the pharmacy. I'm gonna track this. Let's see where this is on the map. What the fuck? I tracked it. It didn't. It's not showing me the location, right? Wait, is this it? Oh. It's totally in a different area of the map. I gotta go down here, across the bridge. Okay. Alright, I think I'm gonna try to do that quest. I think I'm gonna try to reach the pharmacy. We'll see how this goes. Here we go, guys. Let's see. A side quest.